Welcome back to Han Took Shots First. This week we're discussing Andor episodes 5 and 6. I'm Derek.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Ryan.
Yay!
Dude, that's cut that right in. Just about the fucking podcast you're recording, let alone listening
I
to.
care about it. I was just not prepared for my own thing that I've been doing for multiple episodes now. Welcome back. As I said, we're talking about Andor. This is episode 5, The Axe Forgets.
But the tree remembers.
Original air date, October 5th, 2022. So almost exactly 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Directed again by Susanna White, written by Dan Gilroy. I think they did all of these. I feel like it's a director and a writer for each batch of episodes.
Each little block.
So far, yeah.
Makes sense. Keeps it cohesive.
Yeah. And we have another first in Star Wars in this episode, according to IMDb Trivia.
Oh?
The first appearance of a wristwatch in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we talked about it early on in this series about, like, keeping time.
Yeah.
And they're keeping at least Aldani time.
I didn't see the wristwatch, no.
Yeah, like syncing them up. This is a very, well, I guess it's setting up for the next episode. Very like Mission Impossible,
Yeah.
but in Star Wars. And I'm not going to complain about that.
No, I mean, fucking Mission Impossible, James Bond, because they dive off that fucking dam. Only thing she doesn't do is run down the side of it.
Yeah. And fucking molest a unsuspecting woman.
Well, she might have.
Yeah, we didn't see it.
She was suspecting it.
They cut it.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to bring this up because fuck the internet. This episode clarifies that Vel and Cinta are banging.
It softly clarifies.
Okay, well, it's very clear in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 6, I think they do.
No one complained. This is widely considered the best Star Wars show.
This tied with Rogue One is the best thing Disney's done with this IP.
But all the people who were complaining about Andor, their first thing was like, well, now we've got space lesbians. And I'm like, go back 2 years, dude.
Yeah.
Space lesbians right here.
They also didn't, like, they don't, it's not forced upon
Oh, you're
you.
saying Acolyte or which?
No, on Acolyte.
Okay,
What did I
yeah.
say? Did I
People
say Acolyte?
complain about Acolyte having
Yeah.
lesbians and all kinds of same-sex relationships. No one really complains about this.
I guess this one was hidden enough. They were just like, oh,
I think they left everyone an out.
she shares a blanket or whatever, and then you see Kel walking out right after.
It's implied, and I get it that they are sharing that blanket together. They are in love. But I guess if you're an internet troll, you're like, well, they didn't specifically say they were sharing a blanket together. So
She's sharing a blanket. Like, she uses it for part of the night, and then she gives it to Vel for the rest
they
of the
took
night.
it way too literally. Dude. My turn for the blanket.
Well, in the next episode, when they're eye-fucking each other as they're about to split up, it's pretty clarified.
No, they're telepathic.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just meaning, like, if you're a troll, you're going to explain it in a way that you still have a chance with these fictional females. They're not lesbians. They would totally be into a dude like me.
Well, they're bisexual.
Yeah, they're bisexual. Maybe they'll bring it to me together.
Yeah, I can have sex with Vel and Cinta.
I can share that blanket too.
Okay, so fan fiction is starting. Either we do the drawings or we just do fan fiction stories now.
I can write that.
Cinta and Kel.
Like, I can
Sit
write
in a
words. I
shell.
can't draw pictures. So you can find me on whatever that. I don't know the name of any websites where people write words.
Reddit?
Yeah, okay. You can find me on Reddit, not on DeviantArt.
4chan?
Oh, yeah, DeviantArt.
Oh,
That's what I was
DeviantArt.
thinking,
Yeah, that would
I was
be
trying to
it.
think of the comparison of like the word equivalent of DeviantArt for the internet.
And then 4chan is where those meet and fuck.
Yeah, that's where theories and drawings fuck.
Okay, so it's like lesbian Star Wars stuff, except for also there's Nazis. And they're the good guys.
But also, I have a chance with all the lesbians.
Anyway, so we're going to break this one up as we did before, where we're going to talk about everything that happens on one planet and then move to the next planet, because it's a very quick cut back and forth thing. So first we'll talk about Coruscant. Karn is a sad boy.
Yeah.
He's being emo at home. His mom's being a bitch.
She is a stereotypical Jewish mother in a New York movie.
Well, in this whole thing, she's like, "You're slouching. Is that how you present yourself to the world?
You
No
might as
wonder."
well have a sign that says, "I'm here to disappoint you."
Yeah.
And then subtly, as they're like talking about it, he's eating a cereal that she gave him like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like he's eating the equivalent of like Count Chocula. Like it's whatever Darth Sidious cereal is, dude. Lightning magic puffs.
Count Ducula, dude.
Count Ducula. Damn. It was right there. Derek just fucking set
and
that out.
and right before that, when he's like waking up in his room and he's just like just been fired, and the music is perfect and it's depressing and it's a very like art house movie looking shot because we don't see often the day-to-day of normal people's lives and all that in the Star Wars verse. And that's something that I'm surprised that all the trolls wouldn't have been complaining about, like, fucking boring, where's the blaster fire? You know what I mean?
It's crazy that no one complains about it because...
And it's incredibly well done in these scenes. Like,
yeah. Nothing happens in this episode, like, really.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. Like, I was watching every part lovingly and just couldn't wait for more of it. Even the stuff here, like you're saying... It's day-to-day bullshit that shouldn't matter, but it's wanted.
Just like a weird shot, almost silent, of him sitting on the bed, or the weird warm-up of him sitting at the table waiting for his mom to come over. And it's just like silent, and it looks more like a drama movie or a drama series. But, there's still some comedy because of what's going on, and, we know the predicament.
I mean, the biggest action piece in this is when a TIE fighter flies real close.
Yeah.
That guy was being a dick, dude. He was doing a Tom Cruise buzz in the tower.
It does feel like
Ghost
all
Rider.
set up for the next, the next episode pretty much. But
Yeah.
it's interesting. Super interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good word. Like, nothing happens, but it's interesting as fuck.
Yeah. So she's going to help him get a job by calling Uncle Harlow if he remembers her, is what Karn says. So apparently it's not really his uncle.
I wonder if Uncle Harlow's like a level 1313 guy. That's the
I don't know what that means.
13. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. It's a very deep reference, but 1313 is the level of Coruscant that is like the crime level. It is all syndicates, because the lower you go, the worse it gets. But this is still maintaining some sort of semblance of order, but it's via
Doesn't
mobsters.
he end up getting a job as like a data processor or something?
But I just wonder if Uncle Harlow is a mobster
Oh, okay.
from 1313, and somebody at this fucking data processing place owes him a favor.
Well, we'll find out sometime, because Karn gets the job, and then he stares at a picture of Andor and gets mad, and that's
Jacks
it.
off. I like the end of the conversation. The mom just slides the plate of food over to him, which is the equivalent of "eat your skin and bones," but nonverbal.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you know that there was a canceled video game called Star Wars 1313, and it was going to be Boba Fett infiltrating the level, and it was going to be you can find gameplay of it. That's how close it was.
So it's like Cyberpunk 2077, but with Boba Fett?
Kinda.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, probably because it was Star Wars, probably a lot less boobs
Yeah.
and a lot less penis.
Yeah.
I got to play more of that game.
That was the funniest thing playing that game. It was creating your character, and it's just like flop.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing. It's like you can pick your character's dick size. I'm like, well, interesting, but I'm in. That's not needed. I got the extra long edition.
I paid extra for the DLC.
Dick lengthening content.
So also we have some stuff with Mon Mothma. It's just kind of showing that like her family sucks.
Dude, they're just the most waspy fucking white Alderanian fucking statutory philanthropists.
And you know what? And both of these houses are very relatable. You see kind of the rich person's house, all white, huge big table, and then you see more of the apartment that the mom's in.
Concrete kind of.
And it's very obviously futuristic, but it's more relatable. You know what I mean? Like it feels
It's
like
where
a
we
real
would
lived-in
live.
space.
And
Yeah,
they're both
exactly.
equally depressing.
Yeah, because Mon Mothma's got this giant table, and I mean, dude, her daughter needs to just get hit. I don't condone hitting children, but holy shit, I would have gotten my ass smacked if I ever came out like that.
Well, yeah, because she comes out, she's like, "I'm not going with you. Dad's gonna take me." And Mon Mothma's
You
like,
can
"No."
stop showing off.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm not showing off. Like, I'm trying to spend time with you." And she's like, "Ugh, gross."
I like what they do with the daughter's design because her name is Lita, close to Leia, and her hair is very similar.
Was it? I didn't even know.
Like,
that.
just I mean
especially
the
like
braids.
Ewok,
Okay.
maybe
Not yes,
in the
more
Ewok
closer
time.
to Ewoks. No bun per se, but like just I don't know, a very Alderanian look. Oh wait, no, they're Chandrillan.
They're Chandrillan.
They're
but I
Chandrillan.
don't know, rich white people.
Chandril, baby drill. Yeah, they're rich white people.
I hate and I love this house husband. He's such a bitch.
Oh,
but,
Will
like,
Forte?
Yeah. He's just
Will
such a
Forte.
bitch, but plays the character great.
And then
Yeah.
the later scene with them, which is the only other time we see in this episode, is when they're in the car, and it's that waspy thing. They're sitting as far as you could possibly sit from each other in the same seat.
No eye contact
Like
the
they
entire
have their
time.
backs to like the door.
Uh-huh.
Like they want to be so far away from each other.
I'll ride in the roof.
And they're leaving some kind of dinner party, and he's just being an asshole.
And she's quipping back.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, why didn't you tell me about that organization? You wouldn't care. It's charitable. Meaning you don't make any money on it. You don't get to have your lavish parties. Like, he's a kept man.
Yeah.
You know, she's the one that's obviously the worker in his family. And he's like, I just want to throw fucking parties and drink scotch. That's all life's about. Do a couple of death sticks. A couple of threesomes.
I mean,
with
he
some
was
Twi'leks.
even like inviting over political enemies of hers at the party the other episode. He's a bitch. I like him.
I don't think we're supposed to like him. And
Yeah.
like Derek said, it's setting up like just how detached this upper level of bureaucrats would be.
Yeah.
And we see it in a much later episode of, I think, of Mando season 3. They're in Coruscant, and it's as the New Republic took over, and the high up politicians like, honestly, we don't fucking care who's in charge. We just want normality and to make money. So I mean, the Empire is making them money. Cool. I'm not a slave. There's slaves out there, but it's not me.
It's not my problem.
Not my problem.
Exactly.
The fucking Emperor hates non-humanoids. I'm human.
Could you imagine politicians not caring about poor people?
That would be weird,
That would
wouldn't
be
it?
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think it could happen. Not
No,
in this
not-
day and
not
age.
this
Well, that's why it's science fiction.
Yeah.
No parallels.
And then the other thing that happens on Coruscant, there is one more scene, but I'm saving that for the end because it's a good end. The other thing that happens is just Dedra and her little sidekick talking about the stuff being stolen or whatever.
Oh, that fucking sidekick is all the way up her butt.
Yeah, and his whole thing, he's like, it's too random to be random. Where all these things, these things are purposely being stolen from different locations.
And she's like, that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
I would never jump the same fence twice.
Exactly. And that's kind of it for Coruscant. It's just setting up more later shit. And then we have a quick thing on Ferrix with Blevin taking over, doing reconstruction and stuff, kicking everybody out of the hotel so that this Captain Tigo can have the hotel.
And he wanted to be called a prefect.
I know it doesn't come with a raise or anything. You can wear a fucking ball gown if you want.
Yeah.
He says it.
But I really want the title. I know you said it doesn't come with a pay raise, but does it come with like a cool medal or brooch? Do I get to wear maybe a big hat?
And that's pretty much that.
Yeah.
The rest of the episode's on Aldani.
We're not the people of Ferrix aren't going to be happy about getting kicked out of their hotels, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's not going to go well.
Yeah.
It's all just, like I said, setting up for later stuff. They're just reminding you, hey, these pieces are still in play, but that's not what we're talking about.
Don't forget
right now.
this place.
Yeah. So Andor wakes up and his shit's missing except for his crystal.
Because he had it in his boot, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And Skeen is going through all of his stuff. He's like, Vel told me to. And you don't know if that's true or not. Skeen's naked.
I'm sure that yeah, Skeen's naked. I'm sure that she did tell him.
Okay.
But then again, maybe not. It doesn't need to be.
And I love when he's questioning him about the gun he has because it's like a corporate issue gun. He's like, who'd this belong to? I didn't get the name.
Yeah, it should have been a little more of a comedic moment,
Yeah.
but he delivered it well. And
But Andor
didn't get the name.
Andor or Clem is not comedic. Like, we can find it funny, but he's not funny.
Oh, he's got the meanest tough guy face going right here.
Yeah.
and
He's got to
like,
go extra
"Didn't get
tough
the
guy
name."
face with the beard gone.
Now that
'Cause he looks like he's fucking 11.
He just looks at him so oppositional, like, I'm not going to tell you any information about it.
yeah, he definitely clocks the tattoos.
Yeah, prison tattoos.
And they don't. I looked him up just because like nothing really meant too much to me. Crate head makes me think that it's a gang or prison on Tatooine, because the Crate dragons I think are only on Tatooine.
Okay, I
yeah.
assumed they were all
So-
prison tattoos because the way he said it, and it looks kind of like a number or barcode.
That one, the Crate's head definitely looks like a prison tattoo to me. The other one was the way of the hand or something
Yeah.
along those lines. That could be a call to Emperor's Hand. It could be a call to the Path of the Open Hand, but I don't think so. I think it's just a gang, and the crate one is a prison.
The prison, the
is
scanner,
a prison one. Yeah, because it has a
scan
barcode
you
on
in
it.
It's
type
like
of shit.
Can you
it's like-
imagine the fucking shit ass prisons that they would have on Tatooine?
Oh God, yeah.
Like holy shit! Well, wait,
just
fuck, hold on
deformed,
though.
weird-looking people.
The Empire doesn't have a presence on Tatooine, so it'd be like Jabba's prisoners. I don't know.
Which might be
Okay,
worse.
so might not be Empire.
But I'm starting to think it might
the Empire,
actually just be
the
a
Empire has a
gang.
dirty prison. Jabba's prisons are filled with slime and shit.
He does even say, he's like, you know what they are, but they don't, which makes me think that they are gang tattoos, because if they knew, they'd be alerted.
Well, as Andor mentions that he was in a youth center, which presumably is juvenile hall.
Some type of detention center.
Yeah, Sippo.
Scipio or something like that?
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's only from this.
Okay. And he was there for like 3 years, so he's been in jail, kind of. Juvenile. Although in this galaxy, it probably not that different.
No, I doubt it is, especially at this point when the Empire's in charge.
This scene reminded me of Eastern Promises.
Okay.
Talking about like their prison tattoos and Skeen's naked.
Uh-oh. Take your dick out. We're having a fight.
But this is when we get the titular line, because Skeen says the axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
They've built a lot of camps, haven't they? Meaning they don't remember putting any of you away.
Yeah.
But I will always remember being locked up by you.
Exactly. They talk about they're not really like team. He doesn't think Andor is team material. And he's like, well, that's because you can't. A team always breaks at the weakest point.
Yeah.
And Skeen kind of gives a little bit more background on the kids, he calls
What's
them.
is it Nemec?
Nemec.
Yeah.
Nemec. I
And
love this kid,
Yeah,
by the
he's good.
way. He's just starry-eyed fucking dreamer.
Well, and he gets real fucking like a little bit more hardcore in these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like at least his like ideology.
There's terms that are thrown around the Star Wars trilogy like spark of rebellion and hope. That's what this kid is.
Yeah.
You know, and he's talking about his reason for being here and his manifesto. He's got a whole manifesto about why to join the rebellion, not just to fight, and kind of definitely on course with Luthen.
Yeah.
Like, don't just fucking be a thorn in their paw. Fucking take their paw off.
Yeah. There's reasons to do this, and here's the reasons why.
And I dig this conversation they're having. I think it's right here about the tracker he has, right? Like the module.
I don't remember when that happens.
Well,
but-
because he says that's old. He's like, old but true. We've become way too reliant on Imperial technology.
Yeah.
We kind of forgot how to think ourselves. It's the equivalent of like, what if you, Derek, were really good at math and I have a calculator? That's great until my calculator breaks down, and now I'm fucking so stupid I can't 7 + 7.
Oh, the thing
Exactly.
that kind of looked like an old Polaroid camera.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's cell phones, right?
Yep. It's cell phones, but it's not only that. It's like the newest upgrade of a cell phone. You need the newest Imperial Apple.
And I didn't mention it before. I had it in this episode for some reason, but Cinta, I have the actress here, and I never mentioned her before. So Verada Sethu is the actress, and the only thing I recognized of hers was she was in that Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh,
Did you see that one?
Yeah, maybe.
That was the last one with the giant crickets or whatever.
Even watch that.
Did not see that.
God, that movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it. I got like 10, 20. It's free. It was on something I was already streaming, so I didn't waste. Like, I didn't rent it. I was just like, I cannot finish this.
I was okay enough with Jurassic World, and then like Fallen Kingdom, the first half was pretty good, and then the second half was just boring.
Yeah.
But Whitney and I were like, well, we're gonna go see this one. It's got Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum.
What?
Like, it's
Oh, yeah.
the best
God.
of. They took the team from the OG and
But
the team
it's
from the
just
new one.
fucking
Holy
fan
shit.
service. It's not like anybody did anything good. You're
No,
just grasping.
Sam Neill isn't even not doing his accent.
Uh-huh.
Like in the original Jurassic Park, he's doing American as well as he can, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
In this, you could just hear New Zealand all over that shit.
Fucking raped you? It's right on top of us, a clever girl. Look at that.
It was so bad, but she was in that, so good for her.
Hold on to your butts.
Oh, they're drinking their weird the Dre milk for breakfast. Which is just orange milk.
You can live on it, but you'll question your existence.
But yeah, I don't know what they're drinking. Like it's I guess it's just like having oatmeal every day, except for it's not
Fermented
good.
4-horn goat milk.
Oh yeah, it must be from those goats.
It'd have to be.
Ugh.
Yeah. Thank you. No.
You guys ever seen the movie The Witch?
No.
With a V?
Yeah.
2 V's? No.
All right.
You have an intimate knowledge of the title. There's no way I thought you hadn't seen it when you're like, oh,
The
Witch
Witch?
with 2 V's?
With 2 V's?
Never seen it.
Not at all.
With you talking about the one with Jack Nicholson and Marilyn Monroe? Never seen it.
Never heard of it even.
There's like a black goat who is the devil, it turns out.
Well, yeah.
And that's what these things remind me of. And now I'm just thinking they're milking the devil and drinking its milk.
I want to see the fucking Star Wars metal band that has this goat as their logo.
Nice, yeah.
Sixth or whatever horned goat would just be fucking.
Yeah, it's just a band called Order 66. They're like a hardcore thrash band.
Order 66. Alderaan had it coming. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but
Skeen mentions that like Nemec just sees oppression everywhere because he's going off on a tirade about Imperial oppression and this and that, and Skeen is just like, this fucking kid.
Yeah,
he always thinks we're being oppressed,
which you are.
Yeah,
he says it's easier for the Empire to hide behind 40 atrocities instead of 1, and that is a tact that happens in the real world now. If you have 40 things that are happening, you're probably going to worry about the top 10 of them, and the other 30, you're like, well, I mean, we'll get there.
I love this part because Vel and Terramin start questioning Andor about like if he can enter the load weight on the ship and something he has to do to take off.
Oh yeah,
and he's like,
"How do you input the weight?" And he's like, "Is this a test? Wait a minute, you don't fucking know."
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "Wait, you guys don't know how this works? What the fuck were you gonna do if I wasn't here?"
Kind of just guess.
We would have figured it out. They would have died.
It would have been like me when my car breaks down. I'm on a date. Got to pop the hood and look, pretend like I know what I'm doing. I wiggle this here. Well, that's wiggling.
Oh, it looks
well.
like the diffractor is disconnected.
Oh no, the combobulator's all discontinued. I got to get a new rotary dirter.
And then we have them doing like practice for being soldiers because we see it in this next episode here, but like their whole plan is to just sneak in pretending to be soldiers, and I forgot how this all went down. So I'm like, well, I knew that, but I thought like, okay, we're going to put on uniforms, we're going to go in, whatever. No, they have to actually be out there with a bunch of soldiers doing soldier shit.
And none of this works without, what's his name? Korn? No.
Oh, Terramin.
Gorn?
Oh, Gorn, yeah.
Gorn. Because you're not sneaking in without him.
Yeah.
But that's next episode, right?
That's
so
next
we'll get
episode,
there.
yeah.
But yeah, we see him drilling up, and I think this is where we get a really good insight into how good Andor is.
Yeah.
Because he's like, look, dude, we should switch. I'm left-handed, or he's left-handed. His weapon will be on the outside. Vel just starts questioning. She's like, well, what about me? Right-handed. What about him? Right-handed. What about him? He's favors his left, but he shoots right-handed or something. It's like, damn, he's been clocking all of these.
Yeah, he's doing all his math. He knows the situation. It's just innate for him to have that knowledge,
And he even knows in the fact that you should have your guns on the outside if you're stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Which means they just always have equal handed.
I mean, I get it, but like, shouldn't Terramin have known this stuff? Because we find out next episode that he was a stormtrooper.
But it wouldn't be unlike the Empire to not train their stormtroopers in that. Like, hey, look, you're a fucking foot soldier. You don't need to know. You need to know your one job.
Yeah, okay.
And Gorn being not there, he would know because he is a higher up. That's just me explaining the Empire's compartmentalization.
Yeah. And this is when the TIE fighter is doing its patrol and goes by, and they're like, oh, cool, it left. And it's like, no, it didn't. Hide your guns. And this thing literally, it does the buzz the tower from Top Gun, except for
Ghost Rider, the pattern is full.
I mean, one of these wings is like feet away from one of I'm surprised nobody got blown back by the force of this thing. And then you have Nemec with a good line. A surprise from above is never as shocking as one from below.
True.
Because they're trying to intimidate, because they think they're just natives. They think they're Aldani people.
Because there used to be thousands of Aldanians that would travel. I mean, we don't know how many Aldanians were on this planet, but there was thousands that used, like 150,000, I think they said.
Yeah, I think
used to travel to the eye. So, and the Aldanians are kind of, in my mind, are a cross between like Peruvian people and Scottish people.
Yeah, well, I mean, this episode gives you heavy like occupied Ireland vibes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
and a little bit of our own occupation of Native American people. Like, we traded the land for a pelt. They didn't even know any better.
Yeah, and we'll get to it. There's a whole thing that the Commandant says in the next one that's even dumber. Like, it's infuriating, actually. But yeah. We do have a little bit of Lieutenant Gorn in this episode, just showing basically he's playing the hard ass still. He's walking around, checking on people, doing this and that, yelling at dudes, pretending he's not going to give people like the time off.
Because he didn't want to be obvious.
He wants as few people as possible in there.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to make all you work. And they're like, well, but maybe not. And he's
But
like,
what if, sir?
Yeah.
I want to see the odds so dreadfully.
And there is one actor in this who I recognized. I don't know if either of you watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I did.
So Kimsey,
Yeah.
the comms guy, he was in a few seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was supposed to have his own spinoff, but it ended up getting canceled. Well, him and
and
Bobby. I can't remember the actress's name.
Adriana. It's a P name.
Yeah,
she was in John Wick.
Pilecki? No, that's that other guy. But something like that.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Pacheco, maybe?
But yeah, they were supposed to have a spinoff, Marvel's Most Wanted, and it was because it's Bobby and Hunter. He played Hunter in that. It's an actor named Nick Blood, who I liked in that. That's a cool fucking name.
Really
too.
cool name. What made you want to get into being an action star? My name is Nick Blood. Oh, okay.
Too bad you were born 10 years too late.
Yeah.
Could have been in all those 80s movies.
Clint Eastwood, Nick Blood, Blood Brothers.
So it's mission time. They basically...
Oh, do we find out here Gorn's backstory? I think it's in this episode.
Maybe.
Because I think it's Andor. Sorry, I almost called him Clem. But Andor is still like, what if he's leading us into a trap? It's like he would have already done it. You know, but what's his story? Why is he helping out? He was passed up for a promotion. He fell in love with the local. Then he lost the local. And then he lost his taste for the Empire.
Okay. I don't remember if that was this one or the next one.
Yeah, I don't either.
But either way,
sorry if that is.
It doesn't matter.
Cut it if it's.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fix it in post, dude. You got this.
But they are basically going off to do their mission. Obviously, we know they have to walk overnight, so they're leaving now. But they burn the model that they built,
miles.
and then they gotta walk 500 more. They burn that model that they built. They open up the pens for the goats. They basically just get rid of all the evidence that they were there, except for there's an old pen there.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Which is gonna be abandoned ones of like this all over.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it was just it almost tricked me for a second when they're burning the model. I'm like, oh, it's already happening. And then
is this a flash forward?
And I'm like, oh, that's a terrible model. It doesn't look that real.
Yeah, they did. This is a terrible shot. George Lucas in '77 did great model work.
I
this is terrible.
I watch a lot of '80s movies that involve models, so I could have easily been tricked too. I look at it and I'm just like, wow, it's already on fire.
This looks like Beetlejuice, damn it.
Wait, are they cutting ahead to after the heist? Wow.
That's some Tarantino shit all over the place.
And if you fucking pricks move, it'll execute every motherfucking last one of you.
Right after, I think it's Vel tells the story to Andor about Lieutenant Gorn. She's like, look, everyone has their own rebellion. Like, so everyone's got a reason. They might not all be here because the Empire's evil or because this, that, but people have their reasons.
Yeah. I mean, Gordon might not even want to hurt the Empire necessarily. He might just want to hurt this specific area. He does not like the Commandant.
No.
And I'm sure he didn't say how he lost his woman, but I'm pretty sure somebody there killed her, kind of thing. And he might just be like, you know what? Fuck this very specific outpost.
Yeah. There's a moment on their travels where Skeen finally confronts Andor because he knows something's up.
Knife to the throat confronts him.
Yeah, he finds the Kyber crystal because Andor took it out of his shoe and put it around his neck. And I was like, well, that's not going to be good.
It was hurting his foot. All right.
I mean, I don't want to walk around with a crystal in my tight boot.
He had to walk 500 miles times 2.
Skeen takes the crystal. They have a little standoff. And Vel's like, dude, you guys can shoot each other later. Can we please just get back to the mission?
Yeah.
And he does. Finally, he's like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Guys, I'm here because I'm getting pizzade.
Yeah.
And you can see Vel's like, oh, fuck.
God damn it. We told you not to say anything. And Nimic, of course, the starry-eyed dreamer is like, what, you're just here for money? Yeah. Not for like a greater good? Like, no, there is no greater good right now.
I was going to give you my manifesto, not no more.
I drew a picture of you in the margins. It was really flattering. Now, big nose.
I even added a beard to it. You looked really cool. You should try a beard.
I'm erasing your beard.
But he tells him, he's like, look, I know you guys are all afraid. And they're like, well, how do we know that you're not just doing all this because you're afraid? He's like, fuck yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
He's
difference is I'm not losing my nerve.
Yeah, there's a difference between fear and losing your nerve. So get your shit together, everybody.
And I like he just to show his proness again, or how much of a pro he is. He's like, look, dude, if it wasn't this, it'd be something else. Like, what do you mean by that? He's like, it's always hard the day before. There's too much fucking time. You're all like falling apart.
Yeah.
Like he should, for all intents and purposes, be in charge of this mission, but no one knows that. Like if he was in charge, it would probably have been super smoother.
Maybe, but at this point, he's not in that headspace either.
True, he's not a leader right now.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually never really a leader.
But he's not even in the headspace. He's not, because again, he is just doing it for money. But you can see him being convinced by people, especially Nemec, throughout these interactions, that this is probably a good thing to do. And we kind of see that come full circle in the next episode. So they get to the garrison. They send the signal to Gorn so he knows they're there, which is just a flaming stick.
Yeah. Can't trace that.
I was just waiting for it because she's like, okay,
evidence is burned.
Vel's like, that's long enough. And the person, whoever it is, I think it's Tamarin, does it like 5 or 6 more times. And I'm like, dude, someone down there is going to be like, there's a guy up there with a flaming stick.
You know what would happen? Somebody's bored on patrol just sniping you.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot that fire. What, are we paying by the laser now?
I'm going to shoot the tip of that torch, but since I'm a stormtrooper, I'm definitely going to hit that dude, right?
No, these aren't even stormtroopers.
No,
these are army.
Yeah.
Infantry, rather.
This is where Skeen tells his story about why he's there. He had a brother who was a farmer. They took his land, took his farms, flooded
took his job.
And so he filled his pocket with stones and like walked into the lake.
I mean, you could just say that he killed himself. Like
that's some Emily Dickinson
but,
shit.
Yeah. I mean, and he's like, I'm not going to get into it, but this is exactly what happened. But
there's a long story. I'm not going to tell that. Anyway, 24 BBY, my brother was born to a real bitch of a mother and a drunk of a father.
And his voice is like cracking up. He's doing pretty good here.
Yeah.
He's like,
are you, I know we talked about this actor, but are you familiar with him at all?
No, I don't think so.
He's one of the reasons that The Bear is such a good show.
Oh, he's the brother?
Yeah,
cousin. Yeah.
Cousin.
It's great writing. It's well directed, and everybody does a good job. But he sells it because he's good at playing. He plays a fucking mess of a person,
and
much
he can
like he's
switch
doing
though.
here.
He can switch his character from me going, God, shut the fuck up, I'm over you, to oh man, I need to win for that guy.
Yeah,
and it's really well done. So I think he's perfectly cast in this show.
Yeah, because he's pretty bad. You know, or I mean
later
we find that out, I guess.
But he gives the feel of somebody with prison tattoos and gang tattoos that is working for the rebellion. Nemec says it at one point, and he's like, I slept on it. I couldn't sleep, so I wrote about you, not specifically you, but like the mercenary's role in the rebellion. Like you're a weapon, you're a tool. We should use you.
Yeah,
you know, and that's also at Skeen. Like maybe Skeen isn't there all in. He's maybe just there for revenge for his brother. Everyone's got their own rebellion. His could be just that.
Exactly. And then we have Vel and Cinta take off to do some super secret mission.
We're not telling.
And leaving Tamarin in charge. And that's kind of where we leave those guys. Then there's one more scene on Coruscant. It's Luthen and Clea. And he's like scanning for signals and listening, and she's like, "Dude, they're not going to report to you tonight."
I love their relationship. Yeah. It doesn't seem sexual, but it seems like she has to take care of him. Like, did you remember to eat today? You need to go to bed? You haven't slept in 2 days.
And she's giving him shit because he's nervous about the mission. She's like, "Dude, just chill out, because you know what? We're not going to know anything until tomorrow, and either they succeed or they don't." Like that's,
you know what they say, dude. A watched plan never heists.
He's worried because she says only Vel can be traced back, but he's like, well, I wasn't careful with Andor either. So
Andor could pretty much describe him and his craft, his ship.
I mean, he saw him without the hair and without, he saw the real him.
He saw Luthen.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Luthen is the one that everyone knows. He didn't see the real.
He saw Stellar Skateboard.
He's all Stellar Skateboard.
And is Stellar Skateboard just a wealthy exotic stealer, or does he also so he's not really a diplomat?
No,
he doesn't really have political ties. He's just friends with influential people.
He's an idealist, and he's somebody that you would, by everything you just described, he wouldn't give a shit about a rebellion or an oppression.
Yeah, the
Empire's not impeding his flow to make money. The Empire is not stopping anything he's doing, so that's why he can get away with some things, I think. Because if you look at him like, what the fuck does he have to risk? Like, why would he risk it for what? He's making a killing under us. Mon Mothma, however, likes to make waves.
Yeah.
So she will be looked at by the ISB.
We have a great like mic drop ending to the episode, because that's when she's like, look, this is all going to be over tomorrow, or it'll just be starting. Music. I don't know the music. It's good though.
Yeah, it is. It builds.
Yeah, the music has been good through that episode.
And that's the end of episode 5.
The Axe Forgets.
The Axe Forgets. We'll be back momentarily discussing episode 6, The Eye. I wonder what happens in that one.
Oh. It's about myself.
Do you like bad movies?
Are you worse people?
Are you an unqualified asshole?
Have
we got a podcast for you?
Come join us as we drink beer and talk shit about bad movies, good movies, just movies in general, really.
One of us.
One of us.
Google gobble. We've done full months on Michael Bay. We do superhero movies. We do old movies, new movies, fucking whatever.
Starting to sound like Cheech when he's in Dusk Till Dawn. We got good movies. We got bad movies. We got kids movies. We got action movies.
We do.
We got it all.
We do have it
You
all.
might not like it all because I guarantee you we didn't.
We have great impersonations. We have bad impersonations.
I mean, look, you like getting a couple beers in you, watching a bad movie, and yucking it up with your friends. That's what we're doing. We have microphones.
You know what? I've got a celebrity endorsement right here. Hey, what do you think about Bad Movies, Worst People? I think it might be one of the best podcasts I've ever heard.
Well, my friend Sly Stone is right when it comes to all the things he's saying about the podcast. There's a sample.
Yes.
So remember to check us out, badmoviesworstpeople.com, anywhere you get podcasts. Follow us on social media. Make sure that you check this shit out.
If you don't follow us, we will follow you home.
Because I'll find you.
No, I'm a rebel. It's just me against everyone.
That's right. And this is episode 6 of Andor, The Eye. Original air date, October 12th, 2022. Again, Susanna White and Dan Gilroy. So we don't need to go into that. Let's get into probably one of the most intense episodes of any Disney Plus show I've ever seen.
Yeah, I could put that up there. I mean, even the moments where we saw Vader like ripping people out of the streets was a little less tense. Not intense. Like I was tense on this. Like this has to work.
Yeah, I was watching this and taking some notes, and it gets to a point where there's just like all this tension, and I was like, I just wrote down tension because I don't know what I'm like. What's happening?
Yeah, this is a phenomenal episode.
So it pretty much all takes place on Aldhani. We have at the beginning our crew having a little chit chat. This is when you mentioned it during the last one, but Nemec is telling Andor about how he was writing about him, saying something about how the Empire, doesn't play by the rules. And Andor has a line that's pretty good. He's like, because he says you're half right on what you're saying. They don't play by the rules, but they also don't care to learn from basically from their mistakes, because they don't have to, because you mean nothing to them.
Well, maybe they'll change their minds after today.
It looks like they might.
Careful what you wish for, because they will know you, and if they know you, it's not going to be smooth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be bad.
We go back to the garrison, and we have this commandant guy, and we have a visiting Colonel Pettigar,
and an engineer at that,
who I want to mention because it made me laugh. So Colonel Pettigar is played by a guy named Richard Katz. The role I recognize most of his is from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He was the guy with one leg. The one that Rocket got the leg
I'm gonna
from.
need that guy's leg. Oh, terrific. That's awesome.
So maybe that's what happened to him after all this. He got sent to jail. Yeah. He got his fake leg stolen by a raccoon.
You've heard it 1,000 times. They're planning on, I didn't catch this the first time I watched it, they're planning on leveling the garrison and putting the airfield there.
Yeah.
I don't really see. We already have an airfield.
Because he mentions, maybe because it's a bigger space.
Or they're going to stop storing the bankroll here.
Yeah, because he mentions this is the last time that the Aldanis, or they're just calling them the Donnies, which I don't know if that's racist or not.
Subtitles had them, anytime they spoke, said Donnie.
Yeah.
Like in Donnie.
Yeah, Donnies. Okay,
so I don't think it'd be racist, but
I didn't know if they were just throwing around slurs.
Yeah. You fucking see that Donnie over. Oh, dude, don't drop the D word.
You see that Donnie? He's with his brother Mark.
Oh, bro.
They're trying to sell us. They're trying to sell us cheeseburgers.
Oh, bro, take this cheeseburger. It's fucking better than goat milk. Why you drink that when you could just drink a milkshake? You're bringing all the boys to the yacht.
You get a Wahlburger milkshake. It's made with burger.
If anyone's gonna be fucking racist, it's gonna be me. You fucking Donnie.
But this commandant is basically talking about, the Donnies are simple people, and basically what we do to control them is we give them multiple options because they're too busy thinking about their options to realize we haven't actually offered them anything.
Because this is a people that have little to no technology. They are just living off the land, goat herders, as it were, that fucking pilgrim to this eye every 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Right? Yeah. And then Then they fucking pilgrim home.
Yeah.
They don't really have any other. This guy's talking shit. Like, here's their downfalls. You know, one of them being pride and one of them being afraid to lose. Like, that's not their downfall. Their downfall is you.
He's also talking about like another way they're controlling them. This is what I was referencing last episode where I said it's fucked up, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Is they're like, okay, well, we offered them transports to the Eye, but of course we knew they weren't going to take them.
Yeah.
Because the pilgrimage is part of the thing, presumably. He's like, so what we did instead was just set up quote unquote comfort units along the way with food and cheap booze. So 500 people left these little slums that we've set up. 63 have made it here. Because they just get there, they drink, and they're like, yeah, fuck it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the Eye. I saw it 3 years ago.
And that is a lot more, that is a bigger parallel to like what you were talking about with Native Americans. And
yeah.
You know.
Give them some fire water.
Exactly. Like, we'll just give them this and placate them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Give them things that they think are going to be important that aren't.
Yeah. And this is the last time they'll be able to ever do this.
Do they know? Like, no, I figure it's easier just not to tell them.
And he asked Lieutenant Gorn, like, do you think we'll be able to get through building this airstrip without them causing too much trouble?
Will they be peaceful?
Yeah.
I don't think they have a choice.
Yeah. And you know what? Based on the way fucking Bryan Cranston acts later in this episode, it's not him, but it looks a lot like
wait
him.
a minute.
The guy who leads the Aldani looks like Bryan
I was
Cranston.
thinking fucking Patrick Stewart with a beard and a hat. I was calling him Patrick Stewart.
I couldn't not see Bryan Cranston.
I thought he
got
looked
Pat
a little
Stewart.
bit like Tex Cobb
Yeah.
in specifically Golden Child.
Okay.
But just instead of a Fu Manchu, it was a beard Fu Manchu. Randall Tex Cobb. That's why it didn't sound right. I didn't say Randall Tex Cobb.
I guess it was a combination of the way he looked and the way he was acting is why I got the Bryan Cranston vibes from him. Because he's doing a very, like, he's an angry leader. Like, he knows they're being fucked. Like, they're all acting like these people don't know shit. And he's like, dude, we know exactly what you're doing.
And I can see
we're not idiots.
I can see that my fucking flock has gotten smaller.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the leader of this pilgrimage, and I used to have 150,000 people.
I mean,
now I have 60.
He's straight up talking shit to this commandant's face later in the episode.
Well, he says it to Gorn right here, because Gorn in the native language says something nice like, I hope you had a safe journey or something like that. And this guy says, I hope the eye stays open long enough to see some good in you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, right this way. Because Gorn knows, yeah, we're pieces of shit, dude. I can't tell you that I agree with you, but I do.
But this is where we find out Terramin was a stormtrooper right before they go into all this. And Cinta wasn't too happy when she found out because stormtroopers slaughtered her entire family.
Yeah.
So everyone has their own rebellion.
Hers might be against you, personally.
And I have a feeling it's going to be like his story. Not that we're going to get it, but his story would probably be along the line of like Finn's kind of thing, where like he was a stormtrooper. They were making him do this horrible shit. And he's like, dude, I can't do this anymore.
Or what's her name from Obi-Wan? Tala?
Yeah, exactly.
Tala, yeah, same thing, where it's like, we're here to execute families? No.
Yeah. I signed up to be a military officer, or not an officer because he's a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
But I signed up to be in the military. I didn't sign up to
I wanted to do my
babies.
part and be a service to the Empire. And also it's like, oh shit, we're the baddies?
I thought Vietnam was over.
Yeah.
Well, here I am killing babies.
Baby Ewoks.
So they dress up like troopers. They go and so the troopers have these checkpoints along the way to like keep an eye on the Aldani because, you know, these 63 people might get out of hand.
63 pilgrims with no weapons. There's one guy with a stick.
You know, the way that the Empire is talking here, like the overseers are talking to the soldiers, sounds like they're trying to do a good thing. He's like, look, let's make this peaceful. Like, don't be an asshole. But then when they come walking up and they're all standing there, you know, rigid with their guns up and everything, I'm like, okay, well, you're saying don't be an asshole, but like, you're just trying to intimidate these natives.
Yeah, you still want to show force, but don't shoot them.
Yeah, basically, like, it sounds like, but like, that's what I mean. Like, they sound like they're saying like, hey, we're not here to be mean. But then it's like, well, you are. You just don't want to be mean in the like murdery way.
I got to wonder why they didn't just murder everybody. Like, there's 60 something left. This does not have like a big reach.
Well, there's 63 in this group. There's still a bunch down in the cities and stuff.
But they don't seem like they have a big presence in the Senate.
Yeah, I guess they don't know about the forest moon of Endor yet.
Yeah.
Because they would just be like, well, just kill these people, and what are the rest of them going to do? Overthrow us?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Throw rocks at us?
The Empire will not be taken down by sticks. and rocks. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
I guess at this time they're not massacring and genociding.
Yeah,
This
they're still holding up.
I think they are massacring and genociding.
Well, just not here at this
Yeah.
time.
You know
on
why?
this
Because
planet.
honestly, this planet doesn't mean shit to them.
Yeah.
That's why they're hiding. I just figured it out. They're hiding their own bankroll here. Keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Even though we can get away with massacring, just keep it fucking quiet. Otherwise, like, what are you doing there? Why do you have an airfield there?
Yeah, we just continue to lie to them and offer false promises, or not make them not even have a real choice.
We'll introduce them to terrible things that they didn't need, and they'll kill themselves.
There's a bunch of warm blankets in that hut over there. There's some good blankets, guys. Grab them.
Have you guys heard of diabetes?
You gotta laugh so you don't cry.
America, man. I mean, the Empire. So they follow these guys in.
Empire, hell yeah!
The eye is starting throughout this. You can see
the eye of a Danny. It's the thrill of that light.
We're all done with that joke.
you see the things coming through the atmosphere. And it's funny because they're supposed to be acting super serious while these guys are walking past them. But even Skeen, who's been like the kind of the asshole-ish one, is like looking up like, oh shit.
Ooh.
Did you guys see that?
And I like Nemec. He's like, you're right. I am not tired. I'm wide awake, dude. I got adrenaline running through me, dude. Hey, anybody else have a boner right now? I know we're lined up to like just guard these people.
You
I
just
am
fucked up on orange
hard.
milk, Nemec.
Yeah. You got way too much orange milk in your system, dude. Starts laughing and orange milk comes out of his nose. Nemec.
But there is one of these other squads that's here that kind of gives them a look.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it has to do with what they said or just with him not recognizing them.
I
Because
think
they
not
mentioned that they're
recognizing.
bringing in a bunch of people from
The other strip.
yeah, whatever it's called. I have the name later in the notes.
Yeah.
But, so they're like, if it's somebody from the garrison, you tell them we're from there. If it's somebody from there, you tell them we're from the garrison. But when the first group of soldiers shows up, he says company halt, and they like split up and stand in their positions. When our crew here shows up, he says squad halt, and that's when the guy gives him a look.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, that's not right, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Or
doesn't
he's
come
looking
to
at him like, damn,
fruition.
this is the best drilled fucking company we have. Look at that, dude. Everybody else in my company gave up. These guys are all shaved up and looking nice. Fuck, how'd you get them all do that?
But Gorn takes them with him because they're going to, quote, accompany the colonel and his party to their like viewing chambers or whatever the fuck's going on.
And I think it was we had the commandant trying to put on his belt. And
Oh, the
like,
backstory
yeah.
a little earlier.
Just throwing out there like you have literally gotten too fat for your job. Like you're getting fat off the land.
This sash was stored wrong. It seems to have contracted. Maybe you expanded.
Dude, this is me just about every week. I'm like, someone's shrinking my shirts.
There's
me
a
doing
conspiracy.
It's just me doing laundry at my house by myself. Someone's shrinking them. That's it. I need my comfort cake. My shirt shrank again. I'm housing this chocolate.
And we don't even really need the scene, but it just gives insight into him. It shows the family, makes you a little more compassionate, I guess, for the wife and child.
Yes, I was going to say, when you said compassion, I was like, for who? Yeah. Because he's like,
that
He's a
bad
fucking
guy.
asshole.
he's not even talking to his kid. He's talking at him. He's like, he's going to be there. He's sick. He's always sick.
I like it. See, I agree with that guy. Damn it.
Well,
And
yeah,
someone is
sure.
contracting his shit.
It's this kid. This kid has been fucking with his dad. Shit. He's
That's what we don't get. The kids over there fucking shrinking it. Stupid dad.
I'm sick. I gotta stay home.
I'm going to lower all of the heels of his shoes by a half an inch on the right shoe only. He's going to walk in circles.
And Vel and Cinta are watching from like their vantage point. They have like a bunker kind of set up.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a World War II bunker. Like the underground with just like the view, but it's a naturally occurring thing. Or maybe they dug the hole under the rock.
I think it's a bit of both. Like they dug out an already natural, like because they had pretty good room in there. I like caves.
This is where they verified that these two are banging because they're down there. These soldiers walk by. One of them goes over to take a piss, and he's saying some crude stuff about women.
Yeah, like that wasn't my first thought when I saw her.
And like, yeah, and Cinta like pulls up her gun, and Vel's like calm.
Yeah,
And like, so it's clearly like this fucking pig, this chauvinist piece of shit. And then they have like this look to each other right before they go out to do their thing. It's all subtext, but
I know a little before there was some subtext. When Andor said he was getting paid, someone asks, "Did you know?" to Cinta, and she's like, "No." So you're like, not even her.
Oh,
not
yeah.
even her girlfriend. That's kind of what. it
even
was
the
like.
person she shares a bed with, they
Yeah.
do sleeping bag shifts.
Yeah,
They tell each other everything in that passing moment
not
when they
even
pass
her
that
knows.
sleeping
So,
bag.
yeah, a
and they
couple
definitely aren't
references.
sleeping together in there.
They're not sharing at the same time. That would mean that they're lesbians.
Definitely bi. They can't be lesbians.
Definitely
They're
bi.
Space
Definitely bi.
lesbians. Not just normal lesbians.
Wait till they introduce a space bi.
Someone Google it and see if Space Lesbians is a movie.
You know it is.
That's why I said someone else Google it.
Please hold. I'm already in incognito mode.
I was watching porn on my way here.
Sorry, let me turn this porn off to see if there's a porn called Space Lesbians. Oh, that finished typing for me. Wait, the next thing was Space Lesbians Plan for Preschool. I didn't click on it. Disobedient lesbian space alien seek same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, codependent. Codependent lesbian space alien seek same.
All right. That's the name of a movie?
Yeah.
You know that's just the tit of the
Let's
iceberg.
do an episode about that on the other, the tit of the iceberg. Come on.
It's on Prime.
Oh, it's on Prime, so it's not porn. So we're doing an episode about that on Bad
Yeah.
Movies Most People. No, we're not.
Some softcore.
We'll see.
We'll have to watch it first.
Yeah, for research.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
get a lap pillow.
That's
Babe,
the one that.
Babe, I gotta research the space lesbian.
That's the one
movie.
she's gonna walk in. You're watching at 5 a.m. You know.
That's the one time my wife walks in on me watching it and goes, "Huh, you're watching something normal."
Yeah.
This is the most normal thing he's ever watched. Lesbians in outer space. Wow.
Isn't that just a NASA feed?
Well, no, because they can't.
That's how NASA gets funded.
No, because they can't send two women to space. Because Jack's talked about it on our other
they have
podcast.
They
But
have
the
to be
story
able
about
to-
how they sent the woman up there to the space station, I believe.
Uh-huh.
They're going to be up there for a month, so they sent her with 100 tampons. You don't have room for 200 tampons.
Yeah, dude. 2 women on a space station, the period sinking. NASA wouldn't know what to do with that.
We can figure out the trajectory of the moon, but we can't figure out women.
I can tell you the return path we slingshot around the moon. I can't tell you what my wife wants.
America, dude.
Yeah. I don't think it's just America, actually. I'm going to give America points here. We're not the worst with women.
Oh yeah,
We're not the
worst,
best.
Yeah.
We are not the best. We are not the worst.
That's true. I've seen lesbians get stoned, but not the way they do other places.
That's a movie, lesbians getting stoned.
And, not the other one though. That doesn't sound.
Well, you guys go watch it and see what happens.
Lesbians getting stoned. Watch to see what kind.
Spoiler alert, it's just half baked with lesbians.
I'd watch that.
It's a cross between half baked and Chasing Amy.
Half baked, fully eaten.
Samson is Miss Cleo.
If I wasn't a fortune teller, why would I wear these scarves?
So Vel and Cinta go to do their mission, which is
James Bond.
dive underground. They're not tremors. Dive underwater and swim to the garrison, and they're going to do some shit there. So it's definitely Mission Impossible James Bond shit going on their side.
Oh, yeah.
When they climb up the side of the dam here, and Vel goes and plants some kind of device on this comms tower. Nick Blood is too busy, I don't know, watching it.
Looking at the eye. Oh, no. There's like 3 guys coming by, running past, right?
Oh, that's right. He turns to yell at them.
Because at one point he's looking up, like talking to someone on the radio. Okay, I got it. When she's planting the thing, he's talking on the radio. But I think at one point they're waiting for him to not be looking at these 3 guys running.
Okay.
And he's like, "You guys are so fucked. You picked a stupid day to fuck off, dude. They were supposed to call us. We were waiting. But they get it done because it is a thing where our soldier, our guys pretending to be soldiers are like, she hasn't checked in yet, dude. Like, we're on a clock.
Yeah.
And she hasn't checked in. This is making me nervous.
Yeah.
And then finally she gives him the old verbal confirmation where to go.
This is where I have the thing in my notes that just says tense as fuck. Because
Yeah.
it's when Cinta's telling her, like, you need to call them. They're waiting on her to call. They need to go and do this. They're like, are we continuing this mission
And she's
or not?
nervous.
And she's scared, yeah.
Not nervous. She's scared.
And it's just this back and forth cutting between all of them and the music. And I was just sitting there like, somebody do anything. My asshole needs to unclench. I'm exhausted.
I just gave myself a hemorrhoid.
But yeah, so she tells them they're good to go. This is when the Commandant comes out and meets.
She does hesitate though. She's all
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
And Cinta's like, "Come on, bitch."
Yeah.
Cinta's stone cold.
Yeah, that's one of the things we didn't mention in the last episode when Skeen was talking about Nemec and Cinta, the quote unquote kids. He's like, yeah, she's young, but she'll fuck you up.
Yeah, she's the baddest bitch here.
Yeah. But this is when the Commandant meets Bryan Cranston, Patrick Stewart.
Tex Cobb.
Vandal Tex Cobb.
Brian Tex Stewart.
I like it.
Patrick Tex Cranston. That's better.
Did
Anyway,
Patrick Tex Cranston?
This is when he meets him, and I love this. This really actually made me laugh out loud. The leader here says to Gorn, who's the one that can understand their language, he's like, tell him our ghosts have strong hands and long memories.
Yeah.
And he turns to the commandant and he's like, he says, may the eye find a good in us all. And you can see
the leader's like that.
Yeah, he looks at him like, motherfucker.
I don't speak exact basic, but that was not nearly as long as the things I just said.
Yeah, well, and also I think maybe he's like, I can
bit
understand what you're saying, I just can't speak it.
Or I won't.
Yeah,
I fucking
or I
refuse.
won't. Exactly.
I understand
fuck you.
basic really well.
Yeah.
My tongue doesn't speak it.
Yeah, that makes more sense, actually.
Yeah, I like that point of pride for these people.
And yeah, they are doing, like, they're exchanging, the Commandant mentions they exchange a goat pelt for 3 years worth of rent or something like that.
they actually swap, though. Like, it's not like we give them a goat pelt. The basic Empire gives them a goat pelt. They exchange one. They give them back.
Yeah, that confused me because he says that they give him the goat pelts in exchange for, like, the land, but then they give him another one. So I don't know. But immediately, fucking Bryan Cranston here takes this goat pelt and just throws it on the fire, and everybody's like, "Yeah, fuck those guys." So they all know what's up. Like, this whole show has led us to believe that the Aldani people were just sheep that were herded and treated, and they're stupid.
They're too stupid to know they're being mistreated.
They
like,
just
no.
they know, but they're like, I have a branch.
Uh-huh.
They have TIE fighters.
I'm here for the fucking eye. That's it. I took drugs earlier. I really want to see some cool colors.
I brought a bunch of ginger girls in the front. You see all these ginger girls in the front?
Dude. Yeah, that's true. That's when I saw that happen, I was like, so this is definitely in Ireland or Scotland.
Yeah, Ireland,
They're
Scotland,
just
for sure.
trying to show you that redheads aren't all evil in Star Wars. Not everybody's General Hux, all right? Sometimes you just get some fucking goat girl.
But could you imagine just taking like a hero dose of mushrooms and going to the eye?
Oh, I thought it's all I thought about. It's fucking all I thought about. Even just like a strong gummy, you'd be like, "Holy shit!"
And
mind
I forgot,
fucking blown.
I mean, we're not there yet, but it doesn't matter. I forgot how cool they made this look because throughout the whole episode, it's like 1, 2, 5. Like there's a few of them going. And I was like, okay, cool. But then it's like when they get to the point where it's starting and it just like crests over the horizon. And I was just like, dude, Disney rightfully gets a lot of shit for their CG work in Marvel and Disney movies, or Marvel and Star Wars movies, because they rush everything. But whoever did this part took their time because this looks fucking amazing.
I think they knew. You can't talk about this event being a religious experience for people. And even the soldiers say nobody ever wants to be stationed on Aldani. But you do get the one good thing is you might see the eye.
Yeah.
So they had to make it spectacular.
Yeah.
Because if they would have done kind of like, I mean, we liked Acolyte, but there were some weak CG parts.
Oh yeah.
Circa see the speeder bike scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they would have looked anything remotely that caliber, you lose a lot of points.
Well, and I think part of it too is the show, unlike most of those other ones and all the Marvel movies, is shot on a location. So they're in this valley for real. And I'm sure the garrison is added in by a computer. They didn't build a big building for that, probably. Because they, like, we talked about how they built the city or a section of the city and stuff. But like that's all you've got going on. These days, like all these movies, they might shoot it on location in Atlanta or wherever they're shooting. But if you look at, like, if you watch on Disney Plus, they have those like assembled things whenever a new movie comes out where it's like behind the scenes. And it'll show like, yeah, they're doing this motorcycle chase on this real street. But then they show the guy working on it and just everything is taken out except for the guys on motorcycles and the road. And like all these other buildings and people and stuff are all added in. Everything is CG. And like you're layering so much computer work into these that your visual effects artists have no choice but to rush.
You guys are 100% right, by the way. It is Scotland.
Is it?
Okay. I mean,
I'm gonna destroy this name.
If you think about Game of Thrones, a lot of that was filmed in Ireland. It looks like that. It looks like parts of New Zealand. It's very
Pitlochry, Scotland.
Yeah, because there's parts, like I said, Game of Thrones that's done in Ireland that looks exactly like that. So it's cool that Scotland has.
I mean, just to wrap up Derek's point, location good.
Yeah, because you don't have to do all that extra work.
Physical filming good.
But so the girls rappel down the dam, which was my I was like, this is GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Except for they're not running.
Then they grab the fucking little, I don't know, little handheld submersible.
Yeah.
That scoots them with. Like, that fucking thing is cool, dude.
Yeah.
See that? You could see them use that in The Rock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid, I believe.
The rest of the crew leads the Commandant and the Colonel and stuff into this room. And right behind them, Andor locks the door. And they take them all hostage. But Colonel One Leg isn't having it.
Colonel One Leg. Yeah. And you know what? They mentioned earlier, Gorn was like, he's an engineer. You're not going to charm him. Like, that's just not who he is. He's cold. He's numbers. And now we're seeing it where he's like, I don't give a fuck. You got a gun to that kid's head. Like, I'm going to try and free the kid. But I think any other normal empathic person would like, all right.
Yeah, because Vel comes in. She has her gun to the kid. He's got his gun on Nemec. Or no, this is where Vel comes in, because Vel and Cinta drop in, and Cinta blast this fucking dude.
Skeen is like
Skeen's got the gun to the
barrel
kid's
press
head.
to the kid, like fucking try it. And he doesn't look like he's posing. Like, no. I will actually kill a kid. I try me.
He just opens. He's like, you see this tattoo?
See this? It means not welcome.
Star Wars History X.
Oh, yeah. I was a real big stormtrooper growing up. You know, I had this Empire tattoo on my chest, but then I got sent to prison. I met Andy Serkis. Kind of changed my life.
That's going to be one of the...
Raped in the shower.
That's going to be one of the movies after the sequel series that's coming up. And it's going to be someone who's just like, dude, the Empire wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And you got like a fat guy riding around in a van singing about how the Empire marches on.
The Republic is fucking gone.
Go see American History X if you want to get those jokes.
Yeah,
or don't.
Or don't. I mean, I love that
movie. It's a great movie, but you don't have to watch it.
As a one watch.
Okay, it's not on the level of Requiem for a Dream, but I've seen it at least a dozen times.
I've probably seen it 5 or 6.
When I had done an interview for you guys for the Bad Movies podcast, that was Whitney's answer for her movie Unintentionally Sexy for her. Was
the thing that turns you on but shouldn't.
And I think I told my wife, and she's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
she's
dude,
like,
my fucking sisters growing up were like, I get it. I know he just killed those guys, but damn.
I mean, Edward Norton does look fucking good in that movie.
I mean, that's the best he's ever looked.
Yeah.
After that, he just looks like a fucking wiener.
Cinta kills him. The Commandant's trying to tell them, like, dude, I can't get you guys into the vault. And they're like, dude, we know how all this works.
It's controlled somewhere else, I swear.
It's remote. Like, you know, like all those things when you go to the gas station, it's got a thing that's like, safe is not opened by clerks. It's on a time lock. That's what he's trying to pull. But Vel's like, dude, we know how everything here works. Do you think we're doing this without doing our research?
Yeah.
Like,
you're just going to get your money and kill us anyway. She's like, yeah, because that's what you would do? Nah.
Yeah, I loved that line because she's like, no, that's you, not me. And she tells him, though, she's like, hey, you've got one path, one choice, or everyone dies.
Yeah, if we win, we walk away.
Yep. And then, so this is when we find out, I mean, we kind of knew because Vel planted that device on the comms tower, but it's blocking all the communications except for the airbase. Well, theirs.
Oh, yeah.
But the airbase ones are still open too, presumably because it's also on this planet and it would be too obvious if they couldn't.
I think so. I think as soon as you cut that, it's a big like, uh-oh. Do you see these gags they have on these people? It's a very in the background thing.
Yeah.
But it looks like an
leather
electro
strap.
gag. Like, we didn't see it applied, but I'm betting it's just like a piece of hand-sized tape, I guess, looking thing. And when you put it on, I bet the straps come out and just automatically adjust to it. I'd love to see it.
If not, patent pending.
Patent
dude.
pending.
Like, that's great.
That's what, yeah.
I don't want that to exist in our world. Our fucking cops using that?
Oh, it's a sex one.
Oh, I like that. I'm back in. Patent pending.
I know they've got boxes and boxes of them down in Guantanamo.
Yeah, if I'm thinking about it now, they were using it 10 years ago.
Yeah. So they go into the thing, and there's the soldiers that are supposed to be standing guard are gambling because they're like, what the fuck? Everybody's watching the eye. We can't. So let's make some money. Do you know what this game is?
Is it Pazak?
I don't know. They're yelling words like Hexa and Hoxla, if that means anything to you.
It doesn't, but I actually haven't read a bunch of these.
It kind of
looks
like a hexagonal version of dominoes.
Ooh.
Which is funny because aren't the cards for Sabak also like hexagonal in shape?
Yeah, well, almost like diamond.
Yeah,
I guess it is hexagonal.
Yeah, because it's got like the flat top and bottom.
Six-sided.
So Sabak is the card game, or Sabak is
Sabak
the
is the card game, but so is Puzok.
Okay, is also a card game.
Puzok was
And
made
what's
up
the chest-looking one in like A New Hope?
that like it's
unnamed.
like a battle chest or
Okay.
something. It has a
Okay.
name. I'm just too
Well,
fucking dumb to think
George
of it.
Lucas had already stolen enough from other properties at that point by
Yeah.
basically just co-opting Dune for his property. So
Uh-huh.
he couldn't call it 4-dimensional chess because that was already taken by Star Trek.
This one's 3.5 dimensional, 5-dimensional chess. It's better, bitch. Only got 4 on Dune.
No, it was Star Trek that has the chess.
Oh, damn it. Well, Dune has sandworms and I have asteroid worms. So suck it.
Dune has people who can control people with their voice, and I have people who can control people with their mind,
But
they
sometimes
also have
still,
to use their
they
voice.
still have to talk.
I just was wondering. I wrote down the things that they said that stuck out, Hexa and Hoxla, because I was like, Jack might know this.
I bet if you look it up, it's from at least a video game, probably a book, and I don't know it.
Okay, I just know that you might know.
I want to now.
But so they take them all
Can
hostage.
I buy it and learn it? We can play it.
Well, you said you could play Sabak, right? Yeah.
Oh, we can definitely play Sabak.
What was it in Knights of the Old Republic that you played?
Puzok.
Oh, Pazak. Okay, that one was pretty fun.
Was that just
Yeah.
Sabak, but the people who made it didn't know?
Probably. Like I'm sure it's probably like if it's 2,000 years before.
Yeah.
So it could just be Pazak became Sabak.
Okay.
But I don't know, because I know Puzok was like kind of a version of 21, but you could add to your number. Like you had a
Okay.
card.
Sabak is more like poker,
right?
I mean,
think.
gathering what we saw.
We'll do
in
research
Solo.
on it. I wouldn't mind learning them.
Just based on what we saw in Solo, with like how he has to have that one card up his sleeve to do whatever. It's
Well, but that's also very much like Puzok. Because you get dealt a certain amount of cards, and then you can pull from your deck that you have built either a +4, -4, +3, -3. So it would
So it's
behoove you to
Uno.
have an extra. Yeah, kinda. Dude, you know what? It's fucking Blackjack Uno, and that is my new online name.
I'm the Sabak Shakur of Pazak.
I was gonna say Sabak. I'm surprised they didn't change it the other way. Even though that guy probably doesn't have enough money to sue Disney, but there's a
Yeah.
rapper named Sabak. So
is
Sabak
there?
Red. He's from New York. Yeah.
How long ago was his thing out?
I mean, he started in the 90s. He got more popular in the 2000s.
Sabak is probably written about in an ancillary reading material after the original trilogy.
Okay.
I'm betting.
He hung out with those dudes with Jedi mind tricks and
Oh, okay.
nonfiction
There
and
you
all
go.
that stuff. Anyway,
So maybe he's named after the Sabak.
maybe
Maybe.
Sabak Red. There are colored cards in that,
Yeah.
so it could just be that. You know what? That
was
actually
his
makes
first
perfect
was
sense.
his first album Idiot's Array?
Well,
Because that's a
no.
hand.
But because Jedi mind tricks obviously
Yeah.
got their name from that, and there's a lot of references to Star Wars stuff. So you know what?
He might just
He might have just taken theirs. So no case.
Your Honor, I dismiss this case. You can't dismiss your own case. Objection. I'm leaving. No further questions, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Overruled. Try it again. Say, give me your hammer. Now I've got the hammer.
Yeah, I didn't add an H into ruled. I did it wrong.
Overruled.
Overruled.
What are the rulings here?
But so they take these soldiers hostage, and so Skeen makes them all get down on their knees, and then is like, "Now go pick stuff up. Now get back up."
He wants to like prove.
They are frisking him,
and I will shoot you. Look how I already have you in execution position.
Yeah.
Say it.
and he tells him, he's like, "Anyone that doesn't want to hustle for the next 10 minutes, raise your hand." No one?
No.
Got it.
I didn't think
All
so.
All right, put some
Get
rocks
the
in your
fuck-
pocket. Get in a boat.
Put some rocks in your pocket. We're going for a ride to a water planet like Camino.
Yeah. They had left Cinta behind with the Commandant and his family.
Not the Commandant, just his family, because the Commandant's working. The Commandant's doing fucking work.
It's his family and the 2 guards, or the 2 guys that were working the tower.
Yeah.
So they're talking over their comms, and Kimsey has been trying to, Nick Blood, has been trying to figure out, like, what's going on with his comms.
Changing frequencies and
he
whatnot.
finds their signal and overhears, like, "Hey, we got the vault open. We're going to steal all this money now," because that's the kind of stuff you say over your comms when you're doing a big mission.
We just dropped a bunch of exposition. Over.
So he grabs a bunch of dudes, and they go down there. It's Alkenzi, by the way, is the Air Force base, or the
Okay.
air base, because I have it here. Because they're calling, and I don't really understand. Like, I thought she would call back, because they say, like, "Don't touch this. This calls Alkenzi." And then they start calling. They're like, "Hey, we got a signal that says there was a vault breach. What's going on?" I thought she was going to pull a Han Solo and be like, "Everything's okay
yeah.
over here.
How are you?
How are you?" You know. But she's just like, "Oh, well, now I know we have 9 minutes."
Exactly. I think that there's no way she has the response code. Like,
Oh,
they would
okay.
say, like, "Hey, everything okay? Bulldog." And she has to reply with thunder, but she wouldn't know the
Yeah,
exact
so
code word.
okay.
So
You
it's
know
like
how much time you have till you
now
get
I know
the fuck out.
exactly how long it takes from them to get from them from there to here.
Yeah, because they said before it takes 9 minutes to get the TIE fighters in the air and to the garrison.
And that timer starts now.
And this is the wristwatch. This is what I
Okay,
was talking
that's
about
where it
because she
was.
starts it on her watch, and I think they all start as
So
well.
they don't have wristwatches; they just have wrist stopwatches. That's it. It does not tell time.
Well,
it just keeps track
it's a
of
swatch. It does all kinds of things.
swatches existing in Star Wars.
Not in my fucking universe, bitch.
But her response
Or
to
mine.
this, her response to this is to shut down the power, so everybody's in the dark. Again, we had talked earlier in this show about what are credits, and we saw Luthen with his little credits in his hand. I can't believe that they're like USB things.
They're not,
because there's no way you have to store this
That
many of them.
No,
if-
they're not.
if they're
I was wrong.
rechargeable.
So my thought was they were different size USB drives.
Yeah.
But I looked it up. It is coin. It is golden credits. Like it
Okay.
is a physical form of money.
I do like these rolls.
So
they
maybe
have it
some
all in.
metal, some valuable metal.
Yeah.
It's got to have something.
But there is a
Or
banking-
like now, it's just the most invaluable metal, but you tell the people it's worth this much.
Mhm.
It's not like you're handing out gold.
Yeah, it's
you
just
know,
like
it's-
there's a file on it that validates it that it's worth 200 credits.
Well,
There's a
this
file
this
on it.
coin with the Emperor's face on it is worth the most. This coin with Vader's face on it is worth the second most.
Don't forget about fucking Sly Moore. We need a coin with Sly Moore on it.
That's the one, right?
That's the bald chick.
No, I mean that's the one.
Oh, that's the
one
$1
credit coin.
Yeah, Masamita might be a $5.
Which one has Jar Jar on it?
None of
God.
it.
€1.
The nickel. So the reinforcements led by Nick Blood. I'm just gonna go with that because it's way
Yeah.
cooler than Kimsey. Kimsey just sounds like space kimchi,
It's
which is probably delicious, but Nick Blood is more terrifying.
it's fermented with goat milk.
That's fine.
Blech.
I love.
I'd rather
kimchi.
just Nick's blood.
Oh, kimchi's great.
It's fermented with Nick's blood. But this is where the eye intensifies. It comes over the crest. It's the whole thing. This is the denouement of the episode because the reinforcements are there. They're having a firefight. Gorn. Oh, right before the reinforcements arrive, Gorn shows up.
Yeah, because he's like, "What? How have you not left yet?" And then that's the commandant, like sweaty as shit, turns around. He's like, "You will be hanged for this. Working for you for 7 years, I deserve a lot worse than that."
Yeah, exactly. Which is like, this goes to what you were saying earlier. Like, maybe he's trying to fuck over the Empire. Maybe he just really doesn't like this fat dude.
I definitely want to fuck you over. Like, if the Empire hurts, sure, I need you to be fucking. Just,
The Empire. Okay, you stole one of these racks of coins. They don't even notice.
yeah.
But this guy,
You just took $1 from Michael Jordan.
you just took $1 million from Michael Jordan.
He's
he still
not gonna
didn't
notice.
But so yeah, Nick Blood comes in with his reinforcements, and Gorn tries to convince him that this is on the up and up. It's a classified mission that you're not cleared for, so why don't you just leave? And he's like, hey, Commandant, is that true? And Commandant's like, actually, heart attack.
Yeah, I have something to say. Ugh.
Turns out I was expanding.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Gorn just gets to watch him die.
Yeah.
It, may not be by anybody's hand except for his own.
Yeah.
First fucking person in the Star Wars universe to die of gluttony.
By the hand of
He,
sandwiches.
he died from gout.
Been there.
I didn't know you get gout in the throat.
But so yeah, there's a firefight. There is a soldier who Andor's trying to take the ship off. There's a soldier who sneaks up on him and fights him. So they're behind schedule even more because of that. Tamarin gets shot because Skeen is terrible at covering people.
I think we know later he's just out for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, we hear it a little bit earlier, but he is just cover
Yeah.
me. And he does one shot and he's like, and gets fucking, he gets his boy taken out right there and dies right in front of Vel.
Yeah. Nemec shoots the guy that's attacking Andor. The TIE fighters launch, so they're on their way.
Cool scene, by the way.
The whole gear up scene of them setting everything up and just twisted knobs and shit. It's very much like the first movie where you just see him like Darth Vader's doing it. He's just twisting knobs. I'm like, I thought these knobs were for aiming.
Not you back there, henchman, arbitrarily turning knobs.
But like, I thought So when they're flying and Vader's trying to shoot Luke, he's twisting the knobs for like aiming. This guy's twisting the knobs to turn it on. What do these knobs do?
It could be adjusting your engines, your power. We don't know.
I don't know.
I bet you if we got the visual dictionary,
Calibrating the
it
weapon,
says it.
all kinds of.
I need to get that again.
Someone on the internet knows.
Yeah. But it's a cool scene, like, because we don't often see people getting into a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
You know, it's dropping down from the top.
Yeah.
And we can see the eye reflecting on that big fucking window of theirs. Like, it's a cool shot.
Yeah, and then they launch the transport. One of the racks of coins falls on Nemec, fucks him all up.
You just hear like life leave his body.
I can't feel my legs.
Yeah, I don't have any legs.
I'm not dead, just hurt really badly.
I'm not dead yet. Fucking Vel comes in. Vel comes in and is like, I got a heroin. Med spike for you.
Yeah, she's like, give me my little black Star Wars book.
Give me a red marker. I'm gonna make a little fucking spot in his chest. I don't know you. Prank caller.
Give me an avocado, a snorkel. I've saved lives with less.
I made a defibrillator out of less.
But they're taking off. Unfortunately for all of them, Nemec is the one who can read the thing that tells them where to go.
Yeah.
So they do get him in
Which
there.
is why Vel did this, by the way. Like, she's not as concerned with saving his life as you might think. She's like, no. I need you to have this adrenaline.
Well, yeah,
in
we see that in just a minute here because she wants to let him die. But the
oh wait, what happens to Gorn? I know he dies, but like, does he just get shot as they're leaving?
Does he get shot, or do they just leave him behind?
No, I think he gets shot.
Okay,
I don't think they would have left him behind.
Well, because they leave Cinta behind
on purpose.
Yeah,
she's a fucking shadow.
I'm sure it comes up later.
She's a shadow. I think I just missed it in the action.
I remember him dying, and I don't remember how.
I'm pretty sure Gorn just got killed by
I
think as he saw the Commandant having a heart attack.
Oh.
It was just kind of like, cool, I got what I needed.
Yeah,
and boom, dead.
But
prove me wrong.
Nemec tells him, he's like, okay, because Andor's like, just give me numbers. I need somewhere to go. Nemec's like, all right, climb right now. He's like, I can't. He's like, fucking climb.
Dude, it's the most pained, like, climb. Like, it took everything in his body to scream this. Like, do it now. Everything I say.
So they
climb.
go up into the heart of the eye, and one of the TIE fighters gets taken out, and then he's like, now dive. He dives back down, and then he gives them the vectors they need, and they take off. The other two TIE fighters get taken out.
Beautiful shot still.
This is where they're talking about taking Nemec to the doctor, and Vel doesn't want to. Skinn's like, dude, she just doesn't want to give up the mission. We have a contingency built in with a doctor.
Which
Go
makes
to the
me think
fucking doctor.
Skeen was going to do this the whole time, by the way. He was going to find a way to get to the doctor.
Oh, okay. So he could do what he's going to do.
So, let's just talk about it.
Well, real quick, I want to mention this doctor because he's been in a bunch of Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
So it's obviously like there's some practical effects. There's some CG going on.
Yeah.
This guy's got 4 arms and
Maz Kanata face.
Yeah.
It's not Maz Kanata's race, but it's her face.
The robot eyes and robot ears. And I just couldn't stop thinking about Jack telling me how in Book of Boba Fett people didn't do enhancements like this.
Not like that.
Okay, well, this guy did.
This guy's wearing goggles because his eyes
These
are
aren't
tiny.
wearing the goggles. Those are built into his face.
I don't know about that.
There are no strap. It's his eyeballs.
You don't think that I could put this cap on my eye and squint hard enough it stays? Because I've done that all the time.
Concentrating. You think he's concentrating on squinting while he's doing life-saving surgery?
What you don't know is this alien species has a parasitic worm that holds glasses over its eyes for him.
Okay.
And the earbuds, you would think like maybe it's like the Powens where it's to dampen the
you were
sound.
just fighting the augments are happening, or what?
I hate Book of Boba Fett's augments. They look so bad. I'm not arguing that people don't augment their body.
They make perfect sense.
People augment their body all the time in Star Wars. It never looked like that.
It's Cyberpunk 2077 in Star Wars.
Dude, it's steampunk in Star Wars. And thank you, no.
But this guy. So apparently the doctor is named Dr. Quadpaw, which makes sense because he's got 4 hands. Played by a guy named
Dr. Chronic Masturbator.
Played by a guy named Aiden Cook. And he's played 3 other characters, or he plays 3 other characters in this series. So we have 2 tubes.
Oh, 2 tubes. I talked about him before.
KX Unit and Alien Bailiff. And then in episode 9, he played Bulio, who I think sang that song about the Empire's Paradise.
I'm spending most of my life running from the gangsters. Imperial dice.
And then in episode 7, he played both Baba Joe and Strano Tugs.
I don't know either of
But
those
this is
people.
Star Wars, so these are random gleep glops in the background.
I mean, I know two
that
tubes.
someone wrote a book and then put names to them, or someone made a toy and put names to them.
He's two tubes in this, or in as well as Rogue One.
Maybe it was in Rogue One.
Okay.
I just have it that he was two tubes. The other two, I have what episodes he was in, but those first three, I just have them. So I thought it was from this, but it
Tubes
might
has
have been.
made appearances in more than just Rogue One, though.
Okay,
So it could be all.
but basically, this guy is another Doug Jones.
That's whose name I was just about to
Doug
say.
Jones.
He's
Doug
just
Jones.
he's a shorter, huskier Doug Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is something to being in the makeup. Have you heard Colin Farrell talk about the Penguin? He'll never
No.
reprise this role. He's like, I fucking hate having to put on that makeup. I hate having to perform in it. He's like, I'm glad I did it, but I don't ever want to do it again. Because just being in that makeup chair for how many hours do you think?
He didn't have that thought after the Batman. He waited until they were like, we're going to make an 8-part series. Where
He
you have to
probably
do
filmed the Batman for a couple days, you know, and then once he's the star, he's like, fuck, I'm in
Oh.
this chair a lot.
I wonder if that's
he
what
was
that-
in the Batman as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what that article was about. I saw an article that I didn't click because it was clearly a clickbait article.
Yep.
And it was like, fans are worried about the future of the Penguin series. And I was like, really? I heard it was doing great, but I didn't click it.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I
Because
also
Colin
think
Farrell's like, no.
they probably wrote it as a oneer. Like,
yeah,
you
I don't
need a
we don't
whole-
know because I mean I haven't watched it yet, but there's only 2 episodes out.
Right,
as
that's
of
what I'm saying.
recording
Like,
this,
I don't know
so.
if they did.
He's
But.
like, I'll never do it again. They also didn't offer it. They said I wouldn't get it again.
Here's $40 million. I don't know what I was talking about earlier. I love the makeup. I love doing it. I love everything. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
$40 million per episode. Got it.
You got it, buddy.
But yes,
You can
this
put
is
makeup on my butthole.
this is where Skeen shows what? This is where Skeen shows his real face, because the doctor's working on Nemec. Vel is in there. Andor's sitting with Skeen, and Skeen's like,
You want to guess how much is in there?
yeah,
wanna
he's
guess?
like, you know, it's 80 million credits, give or take. We could just go somewhere else and split it. Maybe?
I don't have a holler, but I know a place we can lay low, which sounds like that's how I get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is by going with you to a place you know.
Well, that's exactly what Andor says. He's like, how do I know you're not going to screw me over?
Because we get this line that we used for the intro where he's like, so you're not a rebel? He's like, no, I'm a rebel. It's just me versus everybody.
I'm a rebel, daddy.
A loner. And he's just like, I'm out for myself, dude. Well, where does that put me if you don't work with other people? 40 million makes me forget a lot of shit.
Exactly. And he's like, yeah, but what about what you were saying about your brother? He's like, dude, I don't have a brother. It's all bullshit.
I, in fact, have no brother. I ate the sheep shit, the entire bowl. Joke for episode we'll do on the main feed.
All right. But yeah, so he's basically, Skeen is like, look, I know you don't give a shit about the rebellion. You're here for the money. We're the same. I don't give a shit about the rebellion. I'm here for the money.
And
So
we get a beautiful insight into who Andor is, because as he's like, what do you say that we go to this moon and boom,
just blast this dude.
mid-sentence, dude, because he knows you aren't actually offering me anything except death. I know this. You are going to fucking kill me.
Kind of reminds me of episode 1, just when he had to execute the guy who was like, hey, let's
Oh,
make
yeah,
a
yeah,
deal.
exactly, yeah.
We'll go to the, just boom, not even thinking about it. This is the best decision.
It's
Yeah.
probably been a while since either of you watched Rogue One, but it's very reminiscent. The very beginning of Rogue One, a rebel spy or somebody that is selling information to rebellion is talking to Andor, and the stormtroopers start coming up, and the guy's like, I can't run away from him, and Andor just shoots him.
Yeah.
So
Like,
okay.
hey, I don't want to
reactionary, but is making the most
he
calculated best
makes
decision.
these fucking split-second gut calls. This one's right.
Like you said
Most of them are right.
that he's
Yeah.
worried about, like, oh, well, this is going to lead to me dying. But I think it's also partially like, he's like, you're fucking over these people who I've grown to
Oh,
actually
yeah.
give a shit about.
Sure,
and
there
you
is
don't
that.
give
There
a
is
fuck,
that.
obviously.
Because if he actually was everything I'm saying,
He would
and
take all the money. And
he'd be gone.
Yeah.
But when he comes in and he tells Dr. Fourclaw,
Well-
Dr. Whiteclaw,
Dr. Quadpaw.
Dr.
But he comes in with
Dr.
his
Whiteclaw.
gun, with his gun out, by the way,
Grandpa
because he
Quadpaw.
knows that Vel's not going to believe
It's
him.
not going to look good.
Yeah.
Hey, gun up in the air. Hey, I just killed Skeen.
We have
this
a
is
little
awkward.
to talk about.
But he is like, I just want my cut. You take the rest. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
I could have left with 80 million right
Yeah.
now.
He gives Vel the Kyber crystal. He's like, give this back to your friend, and I would hope to never see any of you ever again.
Yeah,
And
be great.
She gives him Nemec's manifesto, because Nemec died on the table. That was funny, actually. Not Nemec dying, but when
really?
When Andor first walks in with the gun drawn and the doctor sees him,
Uh-huh.
he's like, "I did everything I could, man."
I didn't crush him. I wasn't the one that crushed him with a bunch of money, dude.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of that.
And then cut to we are at Luthen's shop.
Well, first we have on Coruscant. We show the ISB. They're pretty much just revving up for retaliation. We see at the Senate, Mon Mothma's giving a speech about the...
You see how empty the Senate is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like the Senate, the real Senate.
Yeah.
Most of them didn't show up. They only have to work 3 days a year.
I wonder,
it's
partly that, and it's probably partly of planets being just taken out of the Senate. You know? Like the Emperor being like, hey, we haven't nuked anybody yet, but they are subjugating them. Like, you just lost your seat. You don't fucking matter.
I just figured it was like this special Congress that she's called here is about what are these people again?
Not Gamorreans, because the Gamorreans are
Gothans but it's about the people that she mentioned in the first episode that she was in being enslaved.
Okay. Yeah, and there is a massacre of those people, by the way.
I think it's just though that a bunch of the senators.
I have it written down here. Gormans.
I think it's that a bunch of the senators just don't care. They're like, that's not. I don't give a shit. This isn't gonna make me any money. So why am I here to hear about this?
You know who wouldn't be there? The fucking Wookiees. They're enslaved now, so they lost their seat in the Senate. So there's going to be a lot of...
What about the ETs?
They're enslaved like a motherfucker. Actually, you know what? They're not very good at slave labor, so killed. No, they went to hide on Felucia, where it's very rich in plant life, where they're probably from.
Felucia?
Felucia.
Oh, I was like, as far as I know, Felucia is not rich in plant life.
I mean, it sounds like Felucia. You get to go there in the first Force Unleashed. Yeah, it's where Shaak Ti's hiding out. Surprised you didn't know that.
Are you?
No, not even close.
Guys, I'm lost in this whole conversation.
She's giving her speech, and the couple of senators that are there start not paying attention. Everybody's rabble.
They just got a tweet.
And yeah, so she looks at her Twitter feed. Sorry, X.
Don't call it that anymore. That's not its name.
She scrolls past all the stuff that Elon Musk forced her to follow, and gets
I got rid of the block button. $40 million, dude, he spent just become the world's biggest internet troll. Fucking hell.
But yeah, she goes onto her Twitter feed and she sees what happens. And then we go to Luthen's shop. He's selling some shit to a lady. He's giving her a good line too, because this is a language that nobody knows, and she's like, "Oh, that's so sad." He's
it's liberating.
Yeah, you can make it say anything you want. It's your own secret language.
I mean, that is a sales pitch.
Such a salesman.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy sitting there, and I was expecting it to be like a turnaround, like dun 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 thing, but it wasn't. It's just some douchebag who's hanging out in the lobby, and he's like, "You got anything from Aldani?"
Oh, you expect to be like ISB?
Yeah, like, you got anything from Aldani? And I expected him to turn around and see,
armed guards,
Dedra's sidekick or something.
Yeah.
But he's like, "No, there was a big rebel attack there, and like it's all fucked up now. You got anything from there? I like to own fucked up shit."
I might have some in the back. He's like, "Oh, really? I was just joking. I'm just being a cunt."
And he goes in the back.
Bag.
He goes in the back and laughs to himself because
Donnie.
That means the mission worked, or at least he doesn't know if they got the money, but he does know that people know about it, which was the main thing.
I think the bigger thing, because you could find money other places in the long run.
Yeah,
you are finding money. You got Mon Mothma money.
I mean, if she can move it around, it's getting so difficult.
Mm-hmm. Money finds a way.
But that's the end of episode 6, The Eye. So as we do for the continuing series, are you intrigued? Do you want to keep watching, Ryan?
I love it. Keep it more coming to me, please. I love it.
I am gushing right now. I can't stop.
Jack?
I love it, dude. It's Andor. I want more door. Andor number 1, Andor number 2, Andor number 3. I love it all. Yeah, I talked to Ryan on the way over here. I have a hard time not letting it ride and not just fucking burning through.
Well, and I mean,
truth be told, I got further ahead. That's why I had to text you today. Like, what episodes we doing? Because my mind was all fucked up because I couldn't stop.
Well, I know what's coming next is like we get to Narkina 5, the prison, and all that stuff. Which we had talked last time about how we should have done 3-part things to just cover each arc. Narkina is a 4-part arc,
so we can do 2.
So it's gonna be good.
Fine.
It'll be good.
Yeah,
it matches up well.
It works out. But yeah, so in 2 weeks, return to listen to us yammer on about episode 7, announcement, and episode 8, Narkina 5.
Yeah.
We have to thank the guy who's sitting on that couch over there for the music.
Yeah, thanks, guy.
Yeah. Hey, when you guys said you were doing a Star Wars podcast, I was like, I'm gonna make something special for these motherfuckers.
Dude, he sent me a sample of this. He's like, this is just a thought I have for it. And I was like, that's done in my mind. You did more to it, but I was like, that is fucking done. I love this. And it has lyrics in my mind. Believe in Star Wars.
I hear the Star Wars
Believe
too.
in Star Wars.
All right.
Remember, if you want to get these episodes early, ad-free, and for when we do the two-parters, you get them uncut, you can subscribe to the Patreon for our other show, Bad Movies, Worst People, at patreon.com/worstpeople. And if you want to find us on social media, you can search for us anywhere. You can go to hantookshotfirstpod.com. I've got links for all that shit there. Also, if you do web design and you want to help me with that, because it's just a white page with links on it right now because I keep having issues, hit me up.
Yeah.
hantookshotfirst@gmail.com.
I might know a guy.
But that's it for this episode. I've been Derek.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Ryan.
Until next time, remember, our ghosts have strong hands and long memories.
Oh, fuck you. Believe in Star Wars. Believe in Star Wars. Believe in Star Wars. Did you feature Tamagotchi?
It needs to be disciplined is what's happening right now.
I'll discipline it.
Don't judge me, guys.
Why you hit me, daddy?